Hi everybody, I'm Ocean Siren, coming to you from my car once again. And it is, in Florida, we are experiencing something very close to winter. So I do have my heavy coat on, or heavy for me anyway. But I wanted to have a conversation with you guys. I was watching a movie last night, and many of you have probably watched it. It's called The Drunken Master. It's a very old movie. It stars Jackie Chan when he was much younger. And I have a background in martial arts as well, and so when I was watching the movie, and this is not the first time I watched this movie, but it kind of hit me in a way. I was watching the movie, and I was going through, and there's a part where Jackie Chan's character has to do all these moves, these mundane, horrible, drab, repetitive moves that are painful, but necessary, and he doesn't understand that. Excuse me. He doesn't understand that these completely mundane, constant moves that he's doing to toughen up his hide, if you will, are really going to help him in the future. All he knows is that he hasn't learned a shred of martial arts yet, and he's having to do this shit for, months on end. Now, I want to bring that full circle. That is a really important lesson. The one lesson that martial arts and everything else in my life really has taught me is that everything happens to you for a reason, and those little mundane things at some point will come full circle and you'll need it. In the movie, he had to do a lot of work with his wrists, toughening his wrists, doing a lot of push-ups, going back and forth on his wrists. Turned out that the style that he was using did a lot of blocking with wrists and striking with wrists, toughening up that joint, toughening up that muscles in there, those tendons. Paid off when he actually had to fight the main antagonist at the end. So, I say all this to bring it full circle. Sometimes the little things that you find useless, like, oh, why do I have to do this? Oh, why do I have to put all these protection spells out? Why do I have to learn, science? Or it goes across your life. This is not talking just witchcraft here. I'm talking in general. Those little things, those little lessons, you have no idea, but at some point, they're going to toughen you. And then you're going to need it. And then you're going to go, oh, well, there you have it. Now, personally, my life has been a series of toughening experiences. Being a mixed child growing up in the 80s, I got a lot of hits, and I'll do another video on that. But all of those things were experiences that toughened me and seasoned me, if you will, for my life, for my calling. There you go. That's a good one. So never think that something that you have to go through is completely mundane. If you are teaching, if you are being taught or have a mentor and they're putting you through the ropes, do this, or even if you're in a coven and they're putting you through the ropes, do this, and you're like, fuck this nonsense, this is so mundane, this is so stupid. Pause. Take a pause and really think about what you're doing. Think about the intricacy of the act that you are actually putting forth, the energy that you're putting forth by committing that intention, doing that act. You'd be surprised at the amount of the sheer benefit that you will eventually get, maybe not right now, but you'll eventually get from doing those little itty bitty small things. Even if you decide in your practice that you want to start journaling every day, and on week 7, and like on week 2 or whatever, you're like, fuck, why did I say I was going to do this again? At that second, go, well, I said I was going to do it, so let me continue. 7 months, 8 months, a year down the road, you're going to see something. You're going to look at that and go, dang, I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I stick with that. Because now, look at this. Look at what I've done. Same thing in that movie. He stuck with it, and at the end of the movie, he was a drunken master. He was awesome. Same thing with me. When I was 6 years old, I started doing karate on my own with a trainer. And I mean, I learned all the mundane crap. And at a point, I was like, come on. But once I started taking my exams, once I started getting those hard hits, once I started having to learn and really having to stand on my own with my own skills, I was grateful that I knew those little moves, because when push came to shove and stuff started getting hard, I could always fall back on those very simple things that I learned and those very easy moves that come so effortlessly once you get to a point of experience. But early on, they're difficult. And maybe their difficulty is what makes them unattractive to you. But that doesn't matter. The fact that they're difficult and the fact that they are taxing at a point should spur you on further to want to examine those, to want to get into that safely. But again, it gives you that foundation. You want to build that. And that is so important. And I'm talking in life. I'm not talking just in witchcraft, like I said before. I'm not talking just for one thing or the other. But it is extremely important in witchcraft as well, because there's so many consequences. When you're talking about something that can have consequences, you're summoning up stuff and bringing things into the world that you might not even understand. And I'll do another video on that, because I had a mishap of my own. But that was a while ago, and I knew better, but I did it anyway. So be mindful. If you have a mentor or somebody and they're having you go through the ringer and everything, and I'm not just talking to new witches, I'm talking to adults and people that have been in the craft too. You go through it consistently. It never ends. You are always going to come across something and you're like, fuck, why? Stop. Take a second. Look at it. Or don't look at it. Do what you want. But take a second. Try to figure out. You know, we're all adults here. Or, well, maybe. Because there could be some young ones watching. But still, try and figure out what this could do for you. And if you can't figure it out, well, obviously somebody knows something that you don't. And that is not uncommon, no matter how old you are. There is always somebody out there stronger and more knowledgeable and more seasoned than you are. My father always used to tell me, and I'll close with this. My father always used to tell me, I'm here. You have to get here. I'm going to leave it at that. All right, guys, thank you for watching. If you have any comments, positive or negative, please be respectful and please comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Until next time, blessings to all of you. Bye-bye.